Ozarks First News, midday.
Over a dozen agencies have come together for a major operation in the Ozarks to combat violent crime and drugs, and right now they're touting the results of that effort. Welcome to Midday. I'm Jesse Inman. You're watching us on the Z. Happening right now, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Western District, holding a media conference in Springfield talking about those major arrests in southwest Missouri. It is set to get started any moment now. It's part of a plan called Operation Spring Cleaning between the DOJ, Springfield Police, the FBI, ATF, and several other area sheriff's offices, including Greene County. It includes 85 indictments for over 100 defendants, the seizure of 141 guns. You can see that getting started right now. We do have this airing right now live on ozarksfirst.com. You'll hear about their seizure of hundreds of pounds of illegal drugs as well, including cocaine, fentanyl, meth, and then illegal marijuana and psilocin as well. Again, if you want to watch this live in its entirety right now, go to ozarksfirst.com. A full report tonight at 5. Now for a first look at your forecast, we have a live picture for you from Downstream Casino. Things looking nice out there. Matt Hefner is here with us. Another beautiful day on tap for us in the Ozarks, Matt.
A beautiful day and also an incredibly warm one. Temperatures right now, 76 degrees. The warmest that we have been in 2026 is 77. We're 1 degree shy of that, and we haven't even hit noon. Temperatures going to blast past that mark, blast into the 80s, potentially in some spots may get all the way to the 90-degree mark. I think Harrison is on a really good pace to get to the 90s. They're at 81 degrees, and we still haven't hit the afternoon. Here's what I'm thinking for today. 87 in Springfield, upper 80s with a few places getting into the 90s. We're chasing record warmth for today, chasing record warmth for Saturday, and chasing record warmth for Sunday. Here's the records for today. I don't think we get it in Springfield because it's such a high mark to beat. Same thing for Joplin. 92 in Springfield, take down a record that was set over 100 years ago. That record was set back in 1907. Got us at 87 degrees out there. Here's the weekend forecast. Saturday is looking like the hottest day out of this stretch. So if any day does reach into the 90s, I think it's going to be tomorrow. But still another beautiful and warm day expected on Sunday, Jesse.
All right, Matt, thanks. Action movie star and martial artist Chuck Norris has passed away. Family members posting that announcement on social media this morning. Norris' death was sudden, and he was surrounded by his family and was at peace. Family members choosing to keep the circumstances of the death private at this time, but he was recently hospitalized earlier this week. Chuck Norris was 86 years old. Well, a man is behind bars after being charged with murdering a 15-year-old in a neighborhood near West Bypass and Republic Road. 18-year-old Praise King has been charged with first-degree murder. He's being held in the Greene County Jail. With the help of the U.S. Marshals, King was arrested and charged in Miles Young's death after the Greene County Sheriff's Office says they found him on March 12th. Court records indicate the documents outlining the case have been sealed. King remains in jail on no bond and will appear in court later this month. A homicide investigation also underway in Carroll County, Arkansas. Deputies responding to a shooting in rural Green Forest early Thursday. A man was found dead at the scene. A second man found with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. Identities have not been released, but the sheriff's office say the people allegedly responsible are known, adding they and the victims know each other. Springfield fire crews say a home in North Springfield was destroyed in an early morning fire. Responders telling Ozarks First it happened in the 2600 block of North Campbell just after 2 a.m. The structure there declared a total loss. A few others were damaged nearby as well. No other injuries were reported, and officials have not yet found a cause. Our exclusive 4-part streaming series continues. It's called Murder on Moon Valley Road, the killing of Cassidy Rainwater. It uncovers new evidence in a case that shook the Ozarks. Though Part 2 aired last night, you can still watch it. It's on demand on Ozarks First Plus. Here's what you can expect to see.
A woman gone missing. The discovery of murder and mutilation, marking the beginning of an unraveling for 2 men accused of the unthinkable.
I'd like to talk to you about a missing girl.
But the answers as to what happened to Cassidy Rainwater would be gathered first from the items and evidence found inside the cabin.
Fair to say that you know Jim Phelps very well.
Yes, which really makes this all shocking.
And later, the conversations his closest friend would soon have with the FBI.
You wrote that you had the stones to do something. What was that?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Well, think of something, because that sounds pretty suspicious to me.
The tense moments of an hours-long interrogation.
I've not lied to you.
I don't think you've lied to me. I think you've omitted something.
I've omitted a lot.
That all lead to a confession.
But the problem is, if I tell you about it, then you're going to put me in handcuffs.
The Ozarks First Plus exclusive continues.
It may not be right in most people's eyes, but it was the right thing that needed to be done.
Part 2 of Murder on Moon Valley Road, the killing of Cassidy Rainwater.
You can watch it on Ozarks First Plus. Get that on Apple TV devices, Amazon Fire TV devices, and Roku. Iran's military has launched another strike on an oil refinery in the Middle East as it's retaliating for strikes on its own oil facilities. This comes as more U.S. Marines head to the region. Natalie Brand has more from Washington.
I want to begin by just saying we're doing extremely well in Iran.
President Trump welcomed members of the U.S. Navy football team to the White House, many of whom will be setting off for active duty in the Navy and Marine Corps within months.
Over the past few weeks, the world has seen the true strength and might of our sailors and aviators as they fought in one of the most complex and successful military operations of all time against the Iranian regime.
Military officials tell CBS News an F-35 fighter jet was on a combat mission over Iran when it was forced to make an emergency landing at a U.S. air base in the Middle East. Officials say the pilot is in stable condition. Iran says it targeted the U.S. aircraft as the regime continues to launch attacks across the region.
We are winning, and Iran is being decimated.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the U.S. and Israel are taking out much of Iran's ability to attack others, but that airstrikes can only go so far.
You can do a lot of things from the air, and we're doing, but there has to be a ground component as well.
CBS News has learned there is a second Marine Expeditionary Unit consisting of about 2,200 Marines and 3 warships now headed to the Middle East after departing California this week. That is in addition to the movement of the USS Tripoli to the Middle East, carrying more than 2,000 Marines. President Trump was asked Thursday about the possibility of additional troops deploying to the region.
No, I'm not putting troops anywhere. If I were, I certainly wouldn't tell you.
It will take several weeks for the new Marine deployment to be in place. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And a live look here over the White House as President Trump's nominee for Homeland Security a step closer to being confirmed. A Senate committee held a crucial vote for Senator Markwayne Mullin, narrowly advancing Mullin only a day after his hearing on Capitol Hill. Mullin could take over that agency at a sensitive time. The department has lacked money for more than a month as Democrats demand reforms to ICE.
We need to get DHS open again. I mean, the Homeland is basically unprotected right now in many ways.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune says the Senate can't go on recess until DHS is funded. Still ahead, it's our weekly Serving the Ozarks report. We're highlighting a Greene County business that provides employment to people with disabilities.
Heart emoji. Heart emoji.
The best group chats happen in real life.
Okay, so funny. I love you guys.
What's happening in one of America's greatest cities? Drug addiction, homelessness, mental illness, violent crime.
It's just insane.
The Decline and Fall of San Francisco. A Bill O'Reilly special. Thursday at 9/8 Central. Only on News Nation.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up.
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop
normalization.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
And now, Serving the Ozarks, sponsored by Patriot Heat and Air.
For people with disabilities, it can be tough to find the perfect job. For this week, Serving the Ozarks, our Carissa Codell is highlighting the Hive in Willard, where they provide job experience to everyone.
We don't coddle.
I really couldn't ask for a better place to work.
Jackson Whitmayer has been working at the Hive in Willard for over 3 years.
It is something that I absolutely love. The people here are amazing.
At the Hive, their motto is different abilities, same opportunities.
It's really unusual to see people with differing needs in a workplace.
The Hive hires people who are typically developing and those with disabilities.
Even though we're a cafe, a lot of the work skills that we learn here will generalize over to other places of employment.
The Hive has been open for nearly 4 years now.
We're 501c3 because we have a mission, and that is to provide job opportunities to people with differing abilities. And we do that in an inclusive work environment.
Skaggs, who runs the Hive, says the cafe is a resume builder.
We have a 500-hour paid internship where we get people in, we teach general work skills and make it easier to apply and keep a job out in the community.
Whitmire is a typically abled person. He tells me he has learned skills that will translate to real-world experience.
How can we make this work better for both of us? And how can this situation be just better in general? And kind of working and making sure that the work here is tailored to the individual worker.
Both Whitmire and Skaggs agree the community support is vital.
It's really phenomenal to see the community and the staff interact because, you know, sometimes there's an awkwardness. Sometimes that awkwardness causes lack of communication. And here I think it's a good practice ground for all of us because, you know, we're learning what other people are capable of, even though they may not be like us.
Reporting in Willard, I'm Carissa Codell, Ozarks First.
Serving the Ozarks, sponsored by Patriot Heat and Air.
Coming up, tax season wraps up in less than a month. We'll tell you what experts are saying to get more money back in your pocket.
Historic heat wave. We're going to be chasing record highs. Temperatures can get as warm as 90 degrees. How long does it last? We're talking about it right after the break.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Oh, I don't see where you got your degree.
I don't have one. I went another route.
All right. I guess tell me a bit about your experience.
For 15 years, I've been managing logistics and mastering project management skills.
Wow. Sounds like you've got just the kind of skills and experience we're looking for.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
All right, guys, I'm declaring winter over. I'm doing that for two reasons. One, today is the official first day of spring. Yesterday was the last day of winter. And also, we are getting warm temperatures to roll in. If you're getting temperatures as warm as 90 degrees, yeah, that's the end of winter. We had the snow that also moved in on Sunday. We had record lows on Monday. We had 17 degrees on Tuesday morning. And now we're talking about, are we going to hit 90 degrees? Are we going to be taking down records? So incredible switch in the forecast that we're getting. It's also comes on the first day of spring. Sun's going to be going down at 7:25. We're reaching that point of the year where the days are finally getting longer than the nights. That means sunset's going to be happening even later and later. We'll get the sun down 7:45 in about a couple weeks from now, and a little more than a month from now. Sun will be going down after 8 p.m. We're 2 months away from 8 p.m. sunsets. We're gaining roughly 2 minutes of daylight every single day. So progressing in the right way. Temperatures are getting warmer. Days are getting longer. It's a positive change in the forecast. Looking at satellite radar, not a whole lot going on. The jet stream is pushed all the way into the north, which is allowing kind of this record warmth to spill back in. And we're chasing 80 degrees with some places maybe warm enough to get 90. If we hit 90, I think it's going to be low 90s. I don't think we get to anywhere near the upper 90s, but incredible warmth. The warmth comes back for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A cold front will move back in later into the day on Sunday, and this gets us back to normal. I say when you're in the springtime, you got to watch out for any time you're mixing cold air and warm air together, but this cold front's going to pass through really without causing a headache, as there's just not a whole lot of moisture in the air. Not expecting rain, not expecting storms. Rain chances for really this whole week are going to be extremely hard to come by. Here's that cold front that moves in on Sunday, will increase clouds. We're going to go from about 90 degrees on Sunday to about 60 degrees on Monday. That's a 30-degree temperature drop. You will feel the difference, but we're getting back to average on Monday, and then we'll start to warm back up. Here's a rain outlook for the next week. Really hard to get anything, if we see anything at all. And that's not just for us. That's for really essentially everyone west of the Mississippi River, as the jet stream is going to keep this active track of rain trapped to our north and not really allow it to come our way. Temperatures for today, shooting for those upper 80s. Some places may be as warm as 90 degrees, especially areas towards the south. Temperatures for tomorrow, I think that's our day. We hit 90 degrees, and we're going to be trying to chase record highs. I showed the record high for Friday earlier in the show. I don't think we get that, but I think the records for Saturday become a little bit more obtainable. We're going to be warmer, and the mark to beat gets a little bit easier. We have to get up to 88 to take down the record that was set back in 1916. Joplin's chasing the record that was set all the way back in 1907. Here's a 7-day forecast. Every day up there is beautiful. If I had to pick a day that I guess is ugly, maybe Monday, but that's sun and clouds with 60 degrees. That's hard to complain about. Going to be tough over the next couple days. The nice part is not a lot of humidity, so the temperature is going to be the feels like forecast. Jesse.
All right, spring is upon us, Matt. Thanks. This week, Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway filed charges on a Greene County convenience store for using illegal game machines. Now the Missouri Gaming Commission has released a statement applauding Hanaway's efforts to get rid of those illegal machines in gas stations, saying, quote, Attorney General Hanaway is making the right move by charging those who ignore the law. Continue by saying it's time to put a stop to illegal video slot machines once and for all. We are less than a month away from tax day. Hopefully you've got your things in order. And with several tax law changes in effect, experts are warning you not to wait until the last minute or you could risk losing money. Tax officers suggest the best way to take advantage of the changes is to hire a trained pro. This will help filers avoid common mistakes while the deadline is quickly approaching. Experts also warn you to do your own homework to avoid tax fraud or so-called ghost preparers. Meanwhile, nearly 10% of people enrolled in the ACA marketplace last year may be uninsured now. That's according to a new survey published by the Kaiser Family Foundation. Many people have dropped their coverage after the enhanced federal subsidies for ACA insurance expired. The report indicates the expiration caused health premiums to more than double for the average enrollee this year. More than 90% of enrollees received their subsidies last year. Coming up, we have Pets in the House, the Humane Society of Southwest Missouri, joining us next.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop the
normalizing.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
All right, welcome back to Midday. Dogs in the house. Well, one dog. I mean, Mackenzie Palmer's my dog, no doubt about that, on Fist Bump Friday. We're here, as Tom Schmidt would say, Fist Bump Friday. Humane Society of Southwest Missouri, Mackenzie Palmer with us. This is Pebbles. Tell us about Pebbles.
This is Pebbles. He's a 1-year-old pitty mix. He's a very curious boy. He's just super curious about everything happening around him, very observant. He was found as a stray within the last few months, so we're learning more every day. That means we didn't have any background info on him when he came in, but he's so sweet and loving. He was out in doggy play groups yesterday, which was so sweet to see. So he is dog friendly. He's just so sweet and loving. He's about 35 pounds, so he could fit into a couple different home environments, probably an apartment as well. But yeah, that's Pebbles. He's ready to be your companion, your BFF. He did great in the car as well. He was just silent in the back seat and just looking out the window, very observant. But he's just ready to be your best friend and have lots of playtime, get lots of love.
Yeah, he's been good since he's been here. Very curious for sure. So what's going on at the Humane Society right now? I know you've got a raffle going on.
Yes, we do. So we're selling tickets right now for our Lucky Paws 50/50 raffle, but you do not have to be present at the event to win. We're going to contact the winner by phone. So 50% of those proceeds will go to help animals in need, and the other 50, someone will win that lucky jackpot. So if you're interested in trying to, have a lucky chance to win, head to our website, swh.org. It's on our homepage. You'll just scroll down and all the info's right there. And it's for a good cause. And like I said, one lucky winner will win half of that jackpot, and it's getting up there. So
hey, we love a good bit of winnings around here for anything. So there you go, swh.org for more information. That's the website, swh.org. We'll be right back here at Midday.
I'm a United States Marine. When I came home, I became angry. I had migraines and respiratory issues.
I served in the Army. There's a lot more people out there that have gone through more things. I shouldn't go and get those benefits because they had it worse.
If you could say anything to that veteran, what would you say?
Every veteran is deserving the benefits they earned by serving our country. You deserve because you serve. If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait, reach out.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Oh, I don't see where you got your degree.
I don't have one. I went another route.
All right. I guess tell me a bit about your experience.
For 15 years, I've been managing logistics and mastering project management skills.
Wow. Sounds like you've got just the kind of skills and experience we're looking for.
Ooh, pretty colors.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Are our children hitting all the developmental milestones that they should, when they should? How do we know? How do we get help? So many questions related to health, and we are answering them on another edition of Ask the Pediatrician on Maggie and the Moms.
It's time for Maggie and the Moms. Sponsored by Tampa General Hospital.
Back by popular demand, we have Dr. Alyssa Woodard, our pediatrician from Tampa General Hospital here. We have good fortune that Tampa General Hospital sponsors Maggie and the Moms. I love that we get to team up and speak with you again, Dr. Woodard. She is a pediatrician with Muma Children's Hospital at TGH, as well as the medical director, correct, of the Adolescent Bariatric Center at Tampa General Hospital. Dana Moore, our producer, is here as well. And we just loved the last time you joined us to talk about children's health, and we felt like we just scratched the surface. So we wanted to bring you back. I think we're going to start with developmental milestones because I feel like there is so much anxiety around this topic for us parents, especially in this age of social media, where every other post is what your kid should be doing, what your kid might have. And you read it and you're like, my kid has that symptom, my kid has that symptom. Speak to that first. All this information bombarding us, doctor, how do we know how to navigate it all?
Social media can be wonderful, but it can also not be wonderful. I mean, honestly. So if it's giving you so much anxiety and we're seeing all of this, it's being fed to you, you know, your feed is telling you all these things, turn it off. You know, there's no need to watch. And if you have concerns, bring it up with your pediatrician. Let's talk through whatever your concerns are so that I can help ease your worries. Because most of the time, I'm easing your worries. I'm letting you know that this is okay. And if we do need help, we can get you the right interventions early. And it doesn't necessarily mean that something's wrong. It just means that I'm here to support you on this journey, your child's journey, and they might need a little extra help. But it's not pathologic per se.
Even before social media existed, when my children were little, it's a concern that I had, the should of it all.
Yes.
So my daughter is still crawling. She's not walking. Should she be? Right. So can we talk about some of those shoulds? Do you even like that word? Like, by this age, you should be able to blank?
Not necessarily. We're all on a spectrum. Development is a spectrum. Every child is different. And when they meet that milestone is going to be different than your other son or daughter, than your niece or nephew, and to have that in mind. And there are these overarching themes of when we should be doing things, but they're not hard and fast rules. And it might take your daughter a little bit longer to walk, but that, again, is not pathologic. That does not mean that there's anything wrong with your child. And it's just her timeline, and it's going to be a little bit different.
See, I didn't have social media. I mean, there was social media when my kids were first growing up. It was reading those books, because there was what to expect when you're expecting, yes, and then what to expect the first year, which I learned some great things, but then I was also doing the should thing. I had this complete breakdown, wondering why my child wasn't having full conversations with me. Cut to now, and I'm like, be quiet, stop talking. Why are you talking so much? But in that first year, I was like, she should be saying this word, and why isn't she saying this? And
be careful what you wish for.
You just might get it.
So, and I remember my husband told me something really helpful when I was stressing out about potty training. He's like, okay, have you ever met an adult, who doesn't have a problem, a medical issue, a medical reason, who does not figure out the potty training, who has not figured out the potty training thing? He's like, relax. Yes. It'll happen. Why are you stressing yourself out? So here's my next question. How do we know that it is time to, quote unquote, stress yourself out or go get help?
Good question.
In general or related to?
Okay, either one. Let's do in general first, and then I'll ask you some specifics if you're up for it.
So the question is, I'm sorry.
How do you know when it's time to go get help?
For yourself.
for if you feel like your child might have a delay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
When do you go see the doctor?
Whenever you're concerned, bring it up.
Anytime.
There's no like hard and fast rule. If something's on your mind, if you are up at night worrying about it, then ask. So if you're reading this book and my child only says 2 words and they're supposed to say 15, bring it up and I'll gladly reassure you. That
when do you bring it up? Because I think you're opening the door to neurotic moms
Calling
to be
the
like, it's
pediatrician
3
all the
o'clock in the
time.
morning and I have a concern. It's like, what's appropriate too?
So within the first 2 years, there's actually a decent amount of well child checks that are set up. So you follow them every 3 months up to about 2 years of age, and then we go to 6-month time periods. So there's plenty of opportunities within the well child visit to bring up those concerns, and it's a beautiful time for it. But if it's not quite ready for a well child visit, schedule an acute visit. I'd much rather see my mothers, my nervous mamas, more often and reassure them that things are okay. Or if there is a valid concern, let's get your child the help that they need, and let me help you do that with whatever intervention that needs to be done. So I don't think it's, yes, maybe not calling at 2 a.m., but you can put all those in a lovely note section on your phone.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then in the next
That's a good way to
morning,
do it.
call, make a visit. Let's talk about it. What's on your mind? What's making you nervous? I want to walk through this with you.
And I love that you said put it in the notes app, because I try to do that, because even when I'm just like trying to watch what I'm eating, the more information I have about what exactly is happening, when does this happen, it gives you insight, and it gives whoever is going to eventually help you insight as well to better diagnose what might be going on. So I love that you said that. And early intervention, I imagine, like everything else, you mentioned last time you were here, that is key, because it could very well resolve the issue a whole lot sooner than if you ignored it, didn't ask.
Yes, I'm a huge proponent of early intervention. So we have a lot of things within our state even to help with development. So we have a program called Early Steps. When you're under 3, you qualify to at least be evaluated by a developmental specialist, and they can look at all the different milestones, so gross motor, speech, fine motor, personal, social. And if you have delays within, you can even have someone come to your house to work with you one-on-one to help work through some of those delays. And it's completely free. So that's a great resource for families.
What are some of the therapies that are available depending on what developmental milestone your child may be struggling with?
The most common I see is often a communication delay, and some children have those language explosions just a little bit later than what we would expect. So 18 months is a big milestone for some language development, and then even around 2.5, I see a lot of kids that have limited words really start to take off. But a speech therapist is wonderful. I refer a lot to speech therapy, and they give parents tools that they can take home. They can use different sign language to help give children a voice if they can't quite use their words yet. And they break down the words really nicely. So you can't say a full word like milk, but you can start to say ma, ma, ma. And if we can just work on that start syllable, that can be very helpful for later language development.
We talked about how social media can be bad, but here's how it can be good. There are so many speech therapists, occupational therapists who are sharing things on social media and on the internet that you can do at home.
Yes.
So that's where I say, here you have free resources that you can do at home, specifically fine motor. I remember when my daughter was little, she had trouble with a zipper, or she had trouble with the pencil grip, and so she did see an occupational therapist for that. And now on social media, I feel like a lot of those simple things that you can do at home that she prescribed back then are available to parents at no charge.
100%. There are a lot of phenomenal resources for free on social media. Sometimes I do think it's still helpful to do at least one visit to get set up, to have that knowledge base, and then you have a point of contact if you have further issues. But they should be able to give you a lot of tools that you can then go home and practice.
All right, we've talked about developmental milestones related to small children, but when they start going to school and you start to notice some problems academically, what do you do then? We're going to talk about that, pick up the conversation there right after this break.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with a routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screen that could save your life. Talk to your doctor. Learn more at savebythescan.org.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Dr. Alyssa Woodard is our guest today on Maggie and the Moms. She is a pediatrician with Muma Children's Hospital at TGH, and she is just a wealth of information. Thanks, doctor. It's been wonderful having you here talking milestones to start off the conversation. We talked about all the many resources that are available to children when they're just learning to walk and talk. When they get into school, so many parents realize my child's not keeping up the way that the other children are. How do you know that's happening? Do you have to ask your teachers? Like, how does a parent begin to navigate that?
Definitely first step is meet the teacher. See what's going on from their perspective. They are a wealth of information, and they've often been doing this for years and years and years. So they can help outline what's going on at school, what are their concerns. And then I would follow it up with, does your child need certain testing? Do they have a learning disability that's undiagnosed? Are we dealing with dyslexia? Sometimes we have some ADHD tendencies that can prevent optimal learning. So, but really talking with the teacher as the first step can be very informative.
ADHD is all over my social media feed, and I'm convinced myself that I have it because every symptom's like, I do that. Yeah. I'm doing the thing that I said we shouldn't do.
Dr. Google.
But yes, it's so annoying because I feel like everybody has at least one or two. So here's the thing. Is there actual testing for something like ADHD?
Yes. So above the age of 6, we have something called Vanderbilt's, which is a screening tool that we use. Parents fill one out. This. Yes. And then teachers fill one out. Ideally, we have 2 teachers if we're able, and that can help pediatricians diagnose ADHD.
Pediatricians diagnose.
Yes.
You don't have to go to a specialist.
You don't have to go to a
and
specialist.
spend a ton of money.
No.
I thought that one of my children had ADHD. I was doing the same thing, like hearing all these symptoms in other kids. My pediatrician gave me the Vanderbilt, which I loved, is that you take it to your teacher, because I only see my kid a certain number of hours throughout the day, and sometimes the teachers see the kids more than we do. So they took the test, and their assessment was like, no, not at all. Don't think so. And it actually helps. And the pediatrician said, this is what we're going to do.
The pediatrician is such
plan.
a resource for so many things. All right, so let's say that there is a problem, ADHD, a learning disability. What are some of the resources then? Do you have to make sure that your child is in the right setting?
So when someone comes with me with ADHD concerns, I often talk through kind of how to parent them because it is a little bit different. Children with ADHD thrive on systems. They thrive on having a schedule. So they really want to know what's next in the day. So if you can outline the day for them, that calms their brain. It gives that anxiety piece. It brings it down. They love rewards, right? So they need to know that they're doing good. They're praised. They're rewarded when they're doing good. And at the same token, they need to have consistent consequences when they're not doing something right. And children with ADHD, when they're uncomfortable, because they're often very, very smart children, but if they're presented with a task that makes them uncomfortable, their processing is just a little bit different and they start to fidget. Right? They get uncomfortable. They don't like this math problem. Maybe they don't fully understand how to do it. So their brain is wanting to act out as a result. And so
how do you handle that?
If you can work with one-on-one sometimes and do tutoring and build that confidence in whatever subject that they're not good at, because it's sometimes a focus issue, but if they love what they're doing, they can often focus very, very well.
Isn't that interesting?
So it's just working, helping them, giving them the tools to work through when they're uncomfortable.
But how does it present differently in boys versus girls?
So different. So boys often have that inattentive type that's all over the social media, that's very visible. They have more of those overt signs of fidgeting and acting out in class. And girls sometimes don't have that component, but they might still be forgetful of their homework. They're not able to finish the task fully. They might still get distracted per se, but not necessarily in the acting out form. So, and that's why I do love the Vanderbilts, because it can walk through different types of ADHD, not just that obvious and attentive type.
And then, so that's some of the things that we can do at home. At school, do they have to get involved as well? What will they do for children? Let's talk about that after this quick break.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to bed.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's and master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I could not help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
All right, we are back with Dr. Alyssa Woodard. We were talking about milestones, and we are in the academic years when our kids are in school and they are diagnosed with something, be it a learning disability or ADHD. In the case of ADHD, doctor, we were talking about what schools can do to help students succeed in the classroom.
one of the first steps you can do is get a 504 plan. The pediatrician can recommend it based off the diagnosis of ADHD or learning disability or whatever concern that they have. And that can make adjustments within the classroom to help the children thrive. So you can put them at the front of the classroom. They can have more time on tests. They can move to a quiet environment for testing. All of those things that are essentially free, but they are some accommodations for the child to help them succeed. So that's the first step you can do. If you have a true diagnosis and we have a 504 plan in place, but it's not enough, you can get something called an IEP, and that's really through the school system. You'd work through the school system to get that, and those are some special accommodations for the student.
And you have to make sure that schools provide it, because I know it depends on the school very much, correct?
Yes. So most of our public school systems should be providing IEPs, but the private school systems sometimes do not offer that. But I still think it's worth a conversation of how can we accommodate my child. Both of our goals is for them to succeed, and they're struggling right now. So what are the opportunities that we can come up with to help them to get good grades, to optimize their learning, etc.
So you mentioned that starting with the pediatrician, if you suspect something is going on with your child, is a good place to be. And that brings me to the next topic that I wanted to tackle before we wrap up today. Sometimes you don't know when to go to the pediatrician, when not to go anywhere, when to go to an ER, when to go to an urgent care. How do you know what the situation merits?
Yes, and it can be confusing. So if you don't get it perfectly right, that's okay. But the emergency room, I typically think of fevers within the first 3 months of life, seizures or any altered mental status, any severe trauma needs to go to the ER. If you have respiratory distress, like you cannot breathe or your child cannot breathe, I'd like you to go to the ER first. So those would be some big categories that merit an ER evaluation. Urgent care is wonderful if you have an immediate need, but your pediatrician office is closed. Mm-hmm. If you have some mild trauma, maybe you need some sutures or a broken bone, but it's not that serious. You know, they often have x-rays there, so you can go to the urgent care in those situations. And then the pediatrician for anything. I mean, and if you're ever unsure, you can always call your pediatrician, especially the after hours. They can help guide you of where to go and get you to the right place the first time.
Sometimes I think I should go to the ER, but then I think, I'll have to wait longer probably than at an urgent care. Do you have any inside baseball tips for us to like minimize our wait time at ERs?
No. I wish I had this like crystal ball that'd be like wait time 2 minutes, you know.
Some urgent cares have that.
Yes. No, I do think going to a children's ER is important. So if you were to have an emergency for your child, having a pediatric trained emergency doctor, although our adult colleagues are wonderful, taking that extra effort and going to a children's based hospital, and same thing that yes, you might wait a little bit longer, but the care you receive, you're in the right place from the beginning. If you're at an adult center that might have 0 wait time, if something serious is happening, then you have to get an ambulance or a helicopter, depending on how severe, and transfer over to the children's hospital anyways. True. So yes, there's sometimes some wait, but I think it's worth it.
All right. I have lost track of time. Deanna, where are we?
We have time-wise? 5 minutes left.
We have 5 minutes left. Okay, I don't know. Deanna had some questions about nutrition. Yes. And I think since we have 5 minutes left, I think we should try to go for it.
Okay, back to nutrition. Soda.
Yes.
Okay, it's my vice.
That's it. That's the question.
That's it. Soda. Question mark. Go. It's my vice as an adult. I would pick soda over alcohol as a vice. Yes. My children, they are now wanting to have soda. I've started letting them have it on weekends, and they're only allowed to have Sprite because there's no caffeine. But let's be honest, soda's not good. But am I a bad parent?
No.
No.
I think at the end of the day, do you show your child love? Yes. And I think everything else is secondary, right? So you're a great mom.
Thank you.
You are. Soda
Gotta hear
or
it
no
out loud
soda. You're a
sometimes.
great mom. But would I like you to have less soda as a pediatrician? Yes. But you're a phenomenal mom.
She's a phenomenal mom. I can answer that one because I know her and I know her children. I have a quick one related to nutrition. Supplements, vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
Are they necessary? Are they good? Can they help?
In certain situations, vitamins are necessary. So breastfeeding for the first year of life, or if you're under a certain volume of formula, I want you to be on vitamin D.
You're talking about the mom.
No,
Okay.
baby.
Really?
Yes. So we supplement babies with vitamin D.
I
One
gave my
little
girls
drop.
vitamin D. The little drop,
Yep.
little
One
drop,
little
little
drop.
droppers.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Yes. Iron, sometimes you need supplementation depending on if you're eating an iron-rich diet for the 6-month-old child and breastfed. So there's some indication maybe for iron. But in general, if you have a well-balanced meals-ish, you don't need supplements or vitamins. There are caveats. If you're extremely picky eater, if you only have 5 foods that we're eating, we're missing whole food groups, so we are not eating fruit at all, then I want that child to be on a broad multivitamin and maybe talking through like feeding therapy or what else can we do to support your nutrition.
Is there anything in the growing years that we can give our children to promote growth? Because my children have the misfortune of having 2 very, very short parents. So can I help them?
Yes,
be their
and
tallest
no.
selves.
So, I mean, you calculate their height trajectory is really based off of mid-parental height. So your husband or, their father and their mother genetically are going to be the biggest predisposition to end height. But of course, nutrition can support that. So are we getting enough protein in the younger years? Are we getting enough healthy fats for growth and development? Are we getting our calcium in? All of iron, all of those are important, yes, but at the end of the day, I think genetics mostly win.
Yeah,
okay, then maybe you'll save me some money because I give one of my children a multivitamin every day with omega-3. The only reason why I buy it is because of the omega-3.
I love omega-3.
For the brain health.
For the brain health. It's
Yeah.
just like during the school year, I'm like, let's give her a little something. The other one takes fiber because she's had some issues, 2 fiber gummies a day.
Yeah.
And then they immediately brush their teeth because my pediatrician said, whatever, but
Are they gummies?
Those gummies are just full of sugar. So make sure that they brush their teeth immediately after. So should I just ditch that and save myself the $30 per month I'm spending?
So if you can get omega-3s through food, if she eats salmon or avocados or nuts or healthy sources of fats, you don't need an omega-3 supplement. But if she has 0 omega-3s in her diet, I love omega-3s. So I don't think it's an unreasonable supplement. She probably doesn't need the multivitamin.
Okay.
But I don't think an omega-3 supplement would be unheard of if you don't get it through the diet at all.
We do salmon, but everybody hates salmon except for her.
Really? Yes. Well, that's good because she's the one who needs it, right? So
if
make
she's
the
eating
salmon for her.
then you don't need to double dip.
Okay.
All right.
That's good to know.
See, doctor, thank you. I feel like we could throw anything at you and that you would be down for it, as the kids say. I was going to say up for it, but the kids nowadays say down for it. Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.
Alyssa Woodard, our partner, Tampa General Hospital. Thank you all for watching and listening to Maggie and the Moms. We'll see you next time.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop the
normalizing.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savebythescan.org.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
U.S. forces are continuing to go after military targets deep inside Iran, with pressure surrounding key energy sites in the